Pleased to be joined by head coach Erik Vance and assistant coach Mr. Frank Barker. Coach, you're hosting a big one tomorrow. You're a home meet and a title's on the line. And on one side of the men's side, you are the defending regional champions. Kind of talk about where we're running tomorrow, start times, and some of the things you're expecting.
Well, we've got our Region 5 championships here this weekend. The guys will run at 11:15. Our women will run at 10:45. We run just north of the track, around Brashear Lake and up around the field there and back down around. It's actually a very spectator-friendly course. You can stand just there on the north side of the track and essentially see, all but about 75% of the race, and they're not gone very long, so you have a good idea of what's going on. They're taking multiple loops around the course, so you're going to kind of see as the race adapts and see how people go through and see how the athletes are doing as they go. So sometimes cross country you have to run around a lot, or you see them at one time on the course and then see them at the end, but this is a nice course in respect to, it's very spectator friendly. They can come out and they can see the kids run several times throughout the course of the race, and then start and finish are in a pretty close area to each other, so they can see the excitement as they come down and come down the home stretch.
Obviously, you did have some weather blow in last night. You think that'll play any factor in how things go tomorrow?
As long as the wind doesn't blow too hard, I think we'll be fine. It actually starts to feel like cross country weather now. Up until this point, it would kind of been, it's a track coach's dream, been living in track weather. But the cross country folks, they like it a little cooler. So I don't think it'll bother them at all as long as we don't get a really, really strong wind. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all.
Yeah, Coach Barker, you have it's been a couple days since you've ran last. Talk about the training that's went on and some of the things y'all have kind of done to prepare for this meet.
Well, of course, the big thing is trying to get them ready mentally, because the guys, they're priming, they're thinking in the back of their mind they want to win a national championship, which is, I like that kind of thinking, but, we got to focus on this race and go out and get after this race. We've done several things, I've kind of been backing off of them. Their legs are getting a little bit fresher. They're starting to feel stronger because they've run every race we've run in this year so far. They've been tired when they ran it because we just trained through them. And so they're starting to feel pretty fresh. So one of the things we had to do yesterday is have them run repeat 800s, and we ran them at what each individual's race pace would be, so they know what it feels like and what the speed feels like, because they have a tendency once they get fresh like that, just go out way fast, and then somewhere about 2/3 of the way through just die. And so we want them to make sure they stay on pace and run fast but run smart.
What are some of the things you're looking at of each team individually? Talk about how the course plays. Obviously, you see different courses throughout the year. How does this one play for these teams?
Well, cross country is cross country. Some of the courses we go to, and I think we've been fortunate this year, we've gone to some really tough courses. And I think that prepares you for everything that comes up. This course, is a little bit flat, but it does have several turns in them, although we tried to soften them a little bit so that they could maintain their speed. But anytime that you have a turn, guys have to slow down. They can't go around at full speed, and centrifugal force, kind of is a factor there. But we were out on the course yesterday, and from the last time we ran where it was muddy and soggy and everything like that, it's really firm. I think they're going to race fast. I think we're going to see some really fast times on both the men and the women.
Yeah. Coach Vance, talk about some of the teams that are going to be coming in, and who do you think, maybe 1 through 5 on each side, are going to be there competing for a regional title?
Well, on the women's side, El Paso Community College is a tough team. Like they've done well. We haven't seen their full team yet this year. We ran up against them at New Mexico once this year. Kind of had half their squad. They'd split and sent some others somewhere else. And they're a tough squad. They're ranked in the top, I think, 3 in the nation, and they're really doing some good things down there. So they're a tough squad. And then New Mexico Junior College, who we've seen, week in and week out almost. They've given us a run. They've beat us some. We've beat them the last few times out. So they're a tough squad. I think that's kind of the 3 teams that are in competition to potentially win the women's title. On the men's side, if we run best of our ability, I'd like to think that we can get the W and get the region's title. El Paso men, I really haven't seen a whole lot of them. They could have a pretty solid squad. You know, you never know what they're going to bring up here. With them being a cross-country only program, they have a lot of runners. They do a good job with them, and you never know what they're going to, who they're going to show up with. But they do usually have a pretty good squad. And then other than that, I mean, we also have Ranger, Odessa, New Mexico Military, who usually has some. They women only, and they usually have some solid women.
In Western.
And Western Texas, who have just continually kind of gotten better as the year's gone on. But I really think the men, it probably comes down to us in El Paso, and the women, it's New Mexico, El Paso, and us as well.
Absolutely. Coach Barker, obviously you've been doing this a little while. How do you feel this team stacks up at this point in the season? And do you have any predictions of what we can expect tomorrow?
Well, you know, I think this probably is one of the best bunches that I've had as far as from 1 through 7 goes. Obviously, if I've had some that top 3 guys are really rocking and rolling and stuff like that, but these guys are really knit. I mean, they run together, they run well, they run fairly smart. We need a couple of guys to kind of get a little bit better than what they've been showing, which I think that's going to happen. I've been talking to them a lot about trying to be real close to each other when they finish, you know, or how to start the race, been talking a little strategy. But honestly, I feel like this is a better group overall than we had last year. And don't get me wrong, last year's group was great. But I feel like these guys I think they're just better. But the big problem you have is they're freshmen. That's an unknown quantity on a major race because you don't know what they're going to do. You know, if they listen to you and they go out with a plan, so to speak, they'll do pretty well. But if they go berserk, yeah, things could happen.
Yeah. You're going to be competing at nationals in a couple of weeks. How big would it be mentally for both teams to go out there and, you know, add something to the trophy case?
Well, you know, I think it definitely would help them. The big thing is that it's not so much as winning it, but turning in some really fast times and getting their confidence in that we're doing what we need to do to get fast. And if they turn in some fast times, and I think they'll go to nationals, and they're going to be up there with the attitude that we're the guys to beat. And that's what I want out of them.
Absolutely. Coach Vance, we are streaming this saying any final message to our viewers, what they can expect tomorrow.
Well, unless you want to travel to Fort Dodge, Iowa, this is your last opportunity to see this cross-country team. It's put in a really good year. You know, like I said, hopefully see a title on either side. If nothing else, I know our women, we have a couple that will get out there and compete for the individual title. So anytime you come win on your home course, that's kind of cool. So come out and see us. We appreciate your support so far this year, and let's help take them home.
Absolutely. Coach Vance, Coach Barker, we appreciate your time. We will be streaming this live at spctexans.com. You can find it by using the Watch Games tab at the top of the homepage. Coaches, thank you all for everything, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.